I thought this comment would be a good place to start talking about boundaries. And because this comment is what I hear all the time. And most people put it as a personal thing. They say, I am bad at setting boundaries. And while that might be personally true, it's a systemic issue, not just a personal one. Because we, as a culture, are awful at setting boundaries. And actually, it's kind of baked into our system. The people in power in our society operate off of us not being able to set good boundaries. The exploitation inherent in our system for labor, for emotional labor, for unpaid labor, for any of the things that we have happening is based on us not actually being able to set boundaries or being in situations in which we can't set boundaries. So while a lot of people feel that this is a personal failing of theirs, it's actually a systemic issue in our culture and is not a personal failing of anyone who struggles with it. It's something that is you having to fight against an entire system that's set up to make you not have good boundaries. So what are boundaries in the first place? Well, a lot of people don't know. But boundaries are about what you can control. They're about you personally. So a boundary, a rule, and an ultimatum are three different things. A boundary is about your action. So, for example, you are in a bad situation. Somebody's doing something you don't like. What can you do in that moment? Your boundary is, for example, let's say you're in a partnership with somebody and they go to the bar every night, and this is a problem for you. Like, they're not showing up for your relationship. So you can say a boundary is, you have the choice to continue going to the bar, but I want someone who's in my life who's actually going to be present. We are going to be over if that is what you want to prioritize. Now, that is not a rule. You are not trying to change their behavior. You are not telling them that they are no longer allowed to go to the bar. You are letting them have full autonomy. They can choose to do that. You are stating what you will do. That is what is under your control, you personally. It's also not an ultimatum. An ultimatum is a threat that you will do something in order to get the person to change. So an ultimatum is more of a coercive statement saying, if you don't stop going to the bar, I'm leaving. Well, it's still an if-then, but you are using that emotional outburst as a control and coercive mechanism to get the person to stop doing what you don't like. That's where consent comes in. The boundary is about you and your choices. It's not trying to get them to change their behavior. So boundaries are about learning what you want, you need, and what you are willing to tolerate. There's a lot more complexity than that, but that's the baseline of what a boundary is first, and I'll do some more videos that kind of go more into detail about how we go from that point onwards.